he gets turned into that.
Wrapper and all. He makes an ice wrapper around him.
And then he eats him.
Iceman eats Skeletor.
A Skellicicle.
Skellicicle. Iceman. That was pretty cool.
The Iceman cometh. Oh my god, now we're getting Mr. Freeze puns.
Oh man.
You're gonna send me to the cooler.
Alright, next two contenders. Oh man, this isn't even a fight.
1 second.
See, this is the problem with doing this random, is sometimes you don't get the right matchups.
There you go.
We've got Worf from Star Trek. And those same two people who don't know who Worf is.
Ooh, he's more obscure than the other ones.
Those two people who don't know who these people are, they have no idea why they're listening to this. They're like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know any of these characters. This sucks. This is stupid.
Losers! Losers.
Lieutenant Worf, Klingon. That's about all I gotta say.
Yeah, and the thing is he's played by one of my favorite actors, Michael Dorn. He's actually very good.
And he's also a very ineffective security officer. Every time there's a security breach on the ship, he gets hurt, he gets beaten by the people, or something else happens.
That does happen. And against Superman, it's not going to matter.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
No, shit.
He's like, my contract. You know, even empty falling barrels can hurt Worf. So you know. That's what happens in an episode when he's supposed to get wounded. Barrels fall and they break open, and there's nothing inside of them, and one falls on his back and breaks his back.
And he's like, oh,
empty air. No.
And
but it was really funny to see that. Michael.
One person.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Two people. One of them knows who Superman is. So the one person who doesn't know who Superman is, he's an alien.
Duh, kidding! He's a Kryptonian alien.
No, he's the last Krypton. But
the last
I think
Krypton.
The two people who don't know him are Statler and Waldorf, the two guys from the Muppet Show, the two old men. That's who don't know about this.
Oh, we don't know who Superman is. Dumbass.
Yeah, we should put him in a tournament. We should just put like a TV host tournament like next time.
Oh God,
Bucker. Oh yeah. Wait, we've already had
Lou Albano as Super Mario. That's gonna be a great character.
Yes, he is in the character list for future consideration. So
sweet God, you did go there.
Albano as Mario.
See, now for those who are listening in, this is what happens when a matchup comes up out of the hat, because we pull these randomly from a hat. And
for the hat,
no way the characters could defeat the other. We just stall. This is stalling right now. We're talking about future tournaments, and we might as well get into a doomsday discussion again right now, because there's no way that Worf's going to beat Superman.
Yeah, he couldn't even... Yeah, he's like, this is in my contract, and he runs away, and Superman kills him. Well, don't forget, he is in Starfleet, so he's under contract.
His contract didn't stay. Fighting Superman was not part of his contract.
Yeah.
And you know what? The Man of Steel looks at him, looks at his phaser, looks at him, looks at his phaser, looks at him, looks at his phaser, and then he visits his phaser, looks at him again, he visits it through his head, and says, Superman was here, across his head. And he proceeds to move along.
Because they're flying through space, what could happen is they could find Superman's probe, and then the baby comes out and Worf just kills him. That could happen. But it's not very likely.
No. And Superman's been out since the 1930s or 40s, dude, at the minimally. So I think that
go back
trumps...
in time in one of the episodes.
Huh?
In one of the episodes of The Next Generation, they go back in time.
Yeah, but that still doesn't, that's like the 1940s. He's been around since 1930s.
1810s, or actually 1890s. They meet Mark Twain.
Oh, that's true. I forgot how far back they went. Still doesn't matter. Superman wins.
See, I know these things.
This is awesome. I love how we grasp at straws trying to find a way that one of the characters could possibly win. It's like, well,
I don't want Worf to win.
If time froze and then a nuclear explosion happened at this particular moment, and then we pause the game and it just causes 10 times more damage, there's a possibility that maybe the nuclear reaction gets into one of the molecules and causes a chain reaction explosion, causing them to disintegrate on a molecular level.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know, doesn't it? Worf your
See, the only clear-cut case we had was Rorschach. He just got killed one shot.
Rorschach is useless. Oh well, Worf's dead. Superman wins. That's as far as we get out of that one. And that leaves the final two contenders, and this might actually be a decent matchup: RoboCop versus Boba Fett.
Boba Fett is awesome.
About RoboCop.
Well, the thing
Boba
is,
Fett's in the future a long, long time ago. But one thing about RoboCop, I always thought that he had some kind of titanium alloy armor, because that's what I heard, and that's always so weird when they say he's magnetic. And for the two people who don't know who RoboCop is, he's a robot cop, just like his name implies.
For the two people who don't know who Boba Fett is, you've been living under a freaking rock for all this time, and he's the dude that's actually in all the movies. But the thing it is there's different versions. There's Jango Fett and the first three, then Bubba's and the other ones. He first makes his appearance in Empire Strikes Back, but he's himself in all the movies.
Here we go.
Boba Fett's in the second one.
He's
probably in the first one,
who
too.
Don't know.
No, he's not in the first one. He's in
indeed a robot cop.
Yeah.
His name is Alexander James Murphy. He was a Detroit cop. He was gunned down and mutilated by a gang of criminals.
Oh God, yeah.
Which was, as a child, was one of the most traumatizing scenes I've ever seen on television. Because I stayed late and watched RoboCop.
I have the director's cut.
And
I got the rough track version.
Basically dies and is brought back to life as RoboCop by Omni Consumer Products, OCP.
Yes.
Yeah. And it turns out OCP is pretty. There's a guy from OCP who's pretty nasty, and he ends up killing some dude, and then RoboCop can't kill him because he's got these hidden secret directives inside him that he cannot kill a member of the OCP. And so eventually the president of OCP fires the employee, and then RoboCop immediately kills the employee because he's a dick.
Yep, OCP is OCD, man.
And so basically RoboCop, he's got an armored exoskeleton that's capable of deflecting most bullets, but he's not completely immune because it has been shown that with enough firepower, he will go down. It also grants him super strength. And he's an expert shot because he's got this awesome targeting array in his HUD, heads-up display for those who don't know. And he is completely relentless. You either surrender or you die.
When I was a kid, I thought he could shoot a laser beam out of that eye. That would have been kind of cool, but he can't.
That would have been pretty cool. Now, Boba Fett, everybody knows who Boba Fett is, but whatever. He's got a jetpack. He's a weapons specialist. He's the most feared bounty hunter in the Star Wars galaxy. Now, the big problem is he never actually does much of anything in the movies.
That's because Lucas wouldn't let him.
But in the comics, he gets out of the Sarlacc pit, which he finds himself in.
Yep, McNamara armor saves his ass because it saves him for the digestive juices. It was the only saving grace he had. Trust me, I'm a big fanatic of the Boba Fett, and I'm a firm believer in jetpacks. So,
indeed, he's got a jetpack. He's probably got thermal detonators on him, which are basically awesome grenades.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Blade rockets, flamethrower,
pistols,
ropes,
pistols.
Yeah, laser pistols. By the way, his flamethrower doesn't work on Jedis. The Jedis are not fire happy, so go figure.
Okay.
That's an episode 2 joke, but you have to catch it.
Interesting side note. Boba Fett, Joe Johnston, the guy who directed the Captain America movie, he is currently trying to persuade George Lucas to allow him to make a Boba Fett movie.
Yep. And an interesting note is Boba Fett is a unaltered clone of his father, Jango Fett.
Yep.
Just so that they could have this, and So I think he's been alive in all 6 movies because he's like 8 years old in the first movie. I mean, the second movie, and the first movie is like when Anakin's 9. So he's you're right. He wasn't born then. Never mind.
Oh well.
He
Good
could have
try,
been born.
though.
Win
Yeah.
anytime.
Now this one will be interesting because RoboCop can survive a fair amount of damage, and he's an ex-marksman. So I mean, Boba Fett is human. Well, sort of. He's a clone human. So
He's not altered though.
getting hit with that, machine gun-like pistol that RoboCop has would probably knock him down and probably hurt him quite severely. Boba Fett, on the other hand, has so many weapons that there's a good chance he'll just chuck a grenade at RoboCop and blow him up. So who
He
gets
also-
first?
Well,
I'll let Comic go
Sorry.
first, and then we'll go
Sorry.
to.
Oh, yeah. Well, it all depends. Boba Fett always carries minimally of 3 thermal detonators on him at all times. I did a good study of what he would normally carry on him. He also carries his arm-mounted weapons. His jetpack is always ready to roll. Let's see. He carries several forms of 2 forms of flamethrower on the sides of his wrists, like on the side, like wrist weapons. So he carries them at all times on both arms. They're micro flamethrowers. They're really nice. And then he has his grenades that comes off the elbow. It's kind of nice weapons. He's always prepared, and I love this character. He's absolutely phenomenally awesome.
All right, and Pumpkin, your turn.
One thing we always forget about Boba Fett is he's actually wearing armor. He's wearing like futuristic armor.
Yeah, it's McNamara
Say
armor.
that it's Mandalorian armor. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. Well, Boba Fett tries to hurt him because Murphy is basically has a thick titanium alloy shell that, even though he can do some damage to him, Boba Fett doesn't really do anything but surface damage or like blow off his legs. So Murphy just shoots him, and shoots him through his visor and kills him. I like Boba Fett, but I don't think he can win.
And this is where I'm torn because I love both characters. Like, as a child, I was a huge RoboCop fan. And I didn't actually really watch Star Wars properly until I was about 12 years old. And Boba Fett was my favorite character. I didn't even realize that there was such a big deal about Boba Fett at the time. I was just like, that dude looks cool. So, he became my favorite.
He's the only one to get Luke tied up. Seriously, watch Return of the Jedi. He actually ties him up. He has his wrist launcher.
So,
pretty sweet deal.
I'm extremely annoyed that George Lucas hasn't basically made it canon that Boba Fett got out. I wish he would just go ahead and say, yes, he's alive, but he has yet to do that. But this is the comic book Boba Fett as well, and in the comic books, he got out.
He also has a kid in the comic books.
Holy hell, I haven't read that far. Huh.
Yeah, he's got a daughter, but she gets tortured and killed.
Unfortunately, that is true.
So, I don't know. It could go either way, because Pumpkin's got a point that with RoboCop's automatic targeting, he could easily shoot Boba Fett through the visor. But Boba Fett probably wouldn't go easy on RoboCop. I mean, this is a guy who has to be told not to disintegrate people. So, if he can disintegrate RoboCop, he's going to do it.
Well,
I don't think he would like. Yeah, I think he would like chuck a grenade at him, but it wouldn't because RoboCop is basically a walking tank. It wouldn't do anything. It would like knock him down and he'd just get back up again.
Well, Vader specifically told him in the Star Wars movie, no disintegration. Boba Fett goes, pacifist.
Well, I can't say that RoboCop is a walking tank because even normal bullets knocked him down. It just took a large amount of them.
He's just a big walkie-talkie talking
explosion
robot.
into that. If you add an explosion into that, he's going to go down.
A thermal detonator basically is a small nuclear bomb in your hand. It just doesn't. Yeah.
So
I think
would RoboCop survive the initial explosion? And if so, would he be able to hit Boba Fett because his targeting array may be damaged?
Well, I think that Boba Fett would not use his most powerful weapons against his first enemy because he knows he's going to fight more. He would use like a rocket, and then when that didn't work, he'd go with more powerful stuff.
Still, even a rocket would knock RoboCop down.
Yeah, well, he'd hit him in the chest because that's the easiest place to hit somebody.
And even in the movies, RoboCop's array did go kind of wonky several times.
Only when he was hit by excessive force, and large caliber bullets. Which brings the question: does a blaster pistol does it do as much damage as a slug? We don't know.
Good
question.
question.
As I said, Boba Fett always uses his most powerful stuff first. I mean, he was told to take the thing. His original objective in Star Wars was to take Luke in. That's the reason he tied him down and not shoot him.
I thought it was Han.
No, this is Luke, because he also has side orders. If you read a backstory, it's part of Boba Fett's detail to capture Luke. That's the reason why you notice in Return of the Jedi and the Jabba, he uses his line to tie him up. He was not out to kill Luke. His job was to capture him.
Cool.
Well, I'm a Star Wars fanatic.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of it from intelligent. Boba Fett's fairly intelligent, isn't he?
Yeah.
The only reason he died in the movies, and of course this is proven incorrect in the comics, the only reason he died in the movies was a fluke. Because Han Solo was blind, turned around, accidentally turned on his jetpack, and he flew into the Sarlacc.
I always thought he shot him in a jetpack, but I could be wrong.
Nope.
Anyway, I think that Boba Fett, being a smart person, would not realize there might be stronger opponents. So I'll just try to see if I can knock this guy down easy, and then go on to my other thing. So he shoots RoboCop with like a missile just to see if he knocks him down. It doesn't completely defeat RoboCop. RoboCop shoots him in the head, and he's dead.
I can't really see Boba Fett saying, "I'm just going to do this and see what happens."
No, he's just going to go Bazorge anyway.
He's ruthless.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying he's not ruthless. I'm saying he's smart. If you use all your special weapons before you fight the big boss, then you're going to be really down when you fight the big boss.
Well, it depends on who his big boss is going to be next.
Dr. Manhattan, probably.
We don't know. We'll have to see what other scenes come from the hat.
All right, so who's going to win?
What do you think?
No, Boba Fett, hands down.
RoboCop's going to win.
Boba Fett.
Great, so it's up to me again.
Yeah.
Again, I love both characters. I could see Pumpkin's thing happening, but on the other hand, I think that Boba Fett is way too ruthless to do that.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I think Boba Fett takes it. Not takes it, yeah, he wins.
And what happens to Murphy? He gets rebuilt into another RoboCop. RoboCop number 2, remember? He gets turned into one of those things.
There you go. He can come back in a future tournament.
Yeah, well, he gets rebuilt into until then, he's the coffin machine.
No, he gets rebuilt. Did you ever see RoboCop 2?
Uh-huh.
The RoboCop 2s? He gets rebuilt as one of those.
Cool.
Yay.
Never knew that. All right, that's the end of round 1. Any surprises, any upsets? I think there were some upsets.
Oh, hell yeah, but wait, this is fun.
That Dr. Manhattan won.
That's no surprise. Dear me.
I think it's going to be really interesting in the future, but I wasn't really surprised by anything. I was surprised that RoboCop lost, of course, but I mean, I like Boba Fett a lot better than RoboCop anyway. But I just thought that RoboCop would win because he's a lot more heavily armored than Boba Fett.
End of round 1.
Future, I can see who's fighting that.
I think it'd be cool if the Predator versus Boba Fett would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Let us proceed on, gentlemen. That. So we can see. I'm dying to see what's happening next. I'm just like, ee! So.
One of my favorites died in Deadpool. I would have liked to see him.
I would have loved to see Deadpool keep going. That would have been awesome.
That's what happens when you fight God.
Moving on to round 2.
This makes me really excited. It's like, come on.
I think this might piss you off, Comet.
Uh-huh.
This might piss you off because we've got Batman.
Uh-huh.
And we've got Iceman.
Iceman.
Okay, now Batman is always prepared, as we all know. I've been reading Batman comics ever since I was growing, so I can definitely and now as a big dude, I can tell you flat out, Batman's always, I repeat, always prepared. If you see Batman and Robin, which is a very horrible movie, but it shows Batman was prepared, he carries those little thermal heater things around that will melt Iceman. So he is prepared, but the problem is can Iceman freeze everybody from like a rage effect?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. It's just Well, the thing is, Batman's always prepared,
and he, again, the whole freezing of the water molecules thing.
As
he doesn't necessarily have to hit you. He just he doesn't have to hit you. He just sees you, and there you go. It's kind of like Magneto with taking Wolverine's adamantium out of off
unfortunately.
his bones. He sees it, he controls it, and it's done.
Yeah, well, I think that, Batman is prepared for any character he fights in his own universe. Iceman's not from his universe.
Well, that's true, but Batman, and again, this is difficult because I love comics and I love all of these characters. But Batman versus Iceman,
Iceman wins.
Again, it's grasping at straws to find a way for Batman to win.
Well, Batman would win. I personally think Batman would pull it out of the hat only because he's prepared. I love his mantra of always being prepared, and I just don't know if he's prepared for this.
Except
How would he be prepared for this? Are we assuming that these characters are told, given before they are taken out of their area, that they're given a list of who's in it, or are they just dropped in here?
All they're told. Well, now all they're told, for example, with Boba Fett, he was told that he's got bounties on all of these characters. And he's not told who they are, he just says, okay, they're going to show up, and you're going to kill them. And you're going to get paid for it. And he's like, sweet! Predator's basically here because, he likes sport. RoboCop was told that he needed to, everybody was, a bad guy, but he doesn't know who they are until they show up. Excuse you.
Yep, sorry.
Did you hack up a lung?
No. Just water.
Careful, dude.
So, it might have been Iceman. He's like, hey,
he's coughing up Iceman? That'd be kind of gross.
That would be gross. So, again, my opinion is we have to find a way for Batman to defeat Iceman. Otherwise, Iceman sort of wins by default.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
He loses.
Iceman isn't so Batman dies.
Yep. Unfortunately,
I don't know. He could get the ring from Blackest Night and just go rah.
Or could use his ring version of him, but that's him undead. But that's going way off key here.
Hello. So,
but I have to go with Iceman only because I know how much I hate it, but I know I always always face reality. Batman goes, uh-oh. He goes, am I prepared for this? Crap. Boop.
He's like, heat bombs? Well, he just sort of reforms himself.
Yeah, well, Batman just goes, what the? You son of a... And freezes.
Who when he first shows up in comic books, he's like, oh yeah, man, he's kind of lame. But then it's like, as he's progressed through the comic, as time has gone on, it's like, wow, he's actually, the ability to control ice and water is pretty freaking awesome. I
always thought that what he did was he just lowers the movement of the molecules of whatever he thinks of, and that causes freezing.
Well, whatever the science is behind it, he does it.
It's not a science; it's a comic book. There's no science in it.
Okay, whatever the comic book science is behind it.
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, I see Iceman easily sort of knocking Batman out, unless Batman had a whole bunch of nuclear bombs or something.
Well, Batman never carries,
Even then,
too
it was
much.
just the Bat.
The Bat Nuke.
The Bat credit card.
That would be awesome if Batman started carrying a nuke with him. Bat Nuke.
Well, he's gonna keep a
No,
nuke
he's
in
just
his
got
pants.
Yeah, he's got the launch keys with like a Batman in the Bat thing.
Well, unless there's any major
The Bat silo.
I think Batman unfortunately falls. The Dark Knight falls. No.
He's turned into a carbonite pick. He's frozen in carbonite.
He's a carbonite man. Well,
Don't remind me of that. They put that twice in the Blu-ray.
bastards.
That they did.
No.
And Chuck the Emperor off the side going, "No, my kid! Daddy! Bastard! Whee!"
Unfortunately,
Sorry.
things aren't going to work out the way we hoped. Because
Why?
the next contenders entering are both Superman and the Predator.
Oh, hell yeah!
Predator
Superman wins.
dies. I'm afraid to say Superman can just see. He can see. He has like macro vision, micro vision, binocular vision, X-ray vision. He can just see the Predator and I don't know, blow his face off, blow his head off with his.
The only
breath.
conceivable way I could see the Predator winning is if the Predators actually study their prey beforehand. But he obviously wouldn't know.
And also Superman has the super hearing, so the Predator, like when the Predator goes, like breathes, he can hear it, and then he just shoots him with his laser.
Because if the Predator could study his opponents first, then he would be able to get kryptonite and be prepared for that. But then again, I don't think the Predator would do that anyways, because that would be poor sport. He'd be like, "Oh, here, you're powerless." I think the Predator would die to Superman, but he would enjoy it.
He would actually blow himself up, wouldn't he?
I don't even think he'd do that.
Superman would
He'd
heat
just-
vision him from last week. So, I'm sorry to tell you this. Supes wins, hands down. No questions asked. End of story. Thank you for calling. That's the other way it works. And,
Yeah, pretty much.
and the crowd goes wild!
And the crowd goes wild.
All right, and the final battle, and this is unfortunate. Dr. Manhattan versus Boba Fett. And I've got one thing to say about this battle. Boring! Yeah.
Gotta love Pinkie Pie.
There's nothing. Boba Fett's got nothing.
No, not a prayer in hell. Oh, hell no. Oh, hail to the no. Oh, hail to the no.
I love Boba Fett, but man, he's got nothing against Dr. Manhattan.
No.
No, here's a little hint. None of the characters do.
Superman might.
That may be the case.
It's just like with Neo. Remember Neo? Neo killed the Blob. Okay, it's just like Neo. He's like Neo, except he doesn't need the Matrix.
He doesn't need the Matrix. Well, I have to admit that the three characters that are surviving for the final round are three pretty darn powerful characters.
Yep. And here's you some applause for that, my dear friend. So here you go. Do some
So
applause.
are we saying the Boba Fett fight's over?
But also, I got
Now, which one?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say which one gets a free pass into the final round.
Superman.
Superman.
Let's find out. Free pass is, as if he needed it, Dr. Manhattan. Which means, well, at least we get to see Superman versus Iceman. This will be fun.
Excuse me.
Superman wins, stud. There's no way. Reason being, we're going with the one where he's the most powerful, right?
Oh, we're not going to get into
Because Superman at his most powerful can blow out a star like a candle. I don't think he can. This Iceman doesn't really pose a threat.
Well, you can't blow Iceman out.
You can heat
No,
you
but
can
he
heat
could
vision
just
him to
find-
death. And he's like,
he could-
George,
he
he
could
wins.
find-
Heat ray him. He could heat
No,
ray
he-
him, though.
What he could
Heat
do is
vision will
fly into
kill
space and
Bobby dead. Are you
bring
kidding me?
Iceman into space with him, and then Iceman can't survive in space.
Yeah,
So Iceman would just boil away. I think that's what Superman does. He just takes Iceman into space. Iceman boils away and discorporates, and he's gone forever because he can't turn back into liquid because of the nature of a vacuum.
But he can turn into a vapor.
Yeah, but he would just
Good
be
luck
vapor,
getting back together, but yes, I
Superman
Yeah,
would
he
super
will be
breath
a
him
vapor
into next
and
week.
be-
I mean, seriously.
fly into a star or something, or get pulled into a black hole or something. I don't know. He's dead basically.
Yeah, Iceman melts. He turns into a puddle, then he boils into a vapor, and then he vaporizes as a vapor. Wait.
I think he would sublime. In space, I think he would just sublime.
Iceman!
Turn
Even
into
as
a
powerful as he is, he freezes one molecule in Superman. There. And then he
Not
dies.
quite.
Yeah, Superman doesn't. Superman is powered by the sun, so solar radiation beats his.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Thank you.
Alright, and that leaves, for the finals, Dr. Manhattan versus Superman.
Dr. Manhattan turns Superman into a baby and then like stomps on his head. I don't know. That's how he'd win. Baby killer.
I don't know.
I think Dr. Manhattan, what he would do is just turn Superman into like a glass statue or something, because he could do that. We're just thinking. Yeah.
I think Superman gets some hits in, at least.
Oh, Superman
Before
beats the
that.
crap out of him.
No.
Oh! Dr. Manhattan's pretty freaking powerful, and yeah, he probably will beat Superman, but I think Superman at least gets a few good hits off on him.
Yeah, well,
No,
Superman gets a few hits.
um,
Yeah, absolutely, hands down.
I think that is. You can't say that because it'd be like Superman punching God. You can't. It'd be before he even
Dude,
looks at him. What?
That's all I gotta
I know it's
say.
Superman, but since Dr. Manhattan knows he's gonna win, he can just turn before Superman even hits him, he turns him into a gas and lets him float out with Iceman or something. Because even if you hit him, it wouldn't do anything because he would just like reform that part. I'm just saying, Superman is Superman, but he can't hold a candlestick to Dr. Manhattan. He couldn't even punch him.
Oh, we could punch him. It's just he's not going to do very much, I'd say, even though as powerful as he is.
I don't think it would even move him. It would just hit him, and he'd just be like, "What the heck?" And his like fist turns into like a bunny rabbit or something.
Alright.
Uh-huh.
Well, I want to see Superman in a future tournament anyways, so let's win, hands down.
When are
so,
we gonna have a winners tournament?
Get
and the crowd goes
no,
wild.
Not what?
What do you think of my huge applause button?
That's an improved applause button, I believe.
Yes, it is. And here we go. This is one I also like to call the crowd goes wild.
And with that, we have successfully eliminated another overpowered character.
Yeah, thanks.
Generation tournament.
With the lemming. Don't forget the lemming.
Yes, the lemming. The lemming ended up.
What?
Sorry,
What's
I was
that?
sorry.
I thought.
I was cussing.
That's it. Yes.
Oh.
So Dr. Manhattan wins it all. And he
And he manages to get a pair of pants.
he gets a pair of pants. Thank goodness. And with that, that's the end of the Character Chaos tournament. That was
You don't sound very enthused.
I know, I'm doing that on purpose.
Oh, what?
And I got
if
an
we all
appropriate
are
end.
destroyed tomorrow,
You'll love this.
if we're all destroyed tomorrow or the next day, then who cares?
At least we know Alf is the Herald of Galactus.
Very true.
But I got an appropriate end, so this is going to be much fun.
Bring it on!
But as I said, just a second, I'll go dig up the end
What
for
was
you.
that?
That was a head crab.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, don't you play Half-Life? I mean, seriously, boy. Get out more.
I said Half-Life 2, but I don't remember
The original Half-Life. But here is your end. As Comet here steps up to the plate, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for this one. It's a really good time had by all. I'd say, would you say, gents?
Absolutely.
Also, we wish to thank everybody for their incredible awesomeness of time. I gotta love this one. I love that one. That's absolutely cool. And for people who are wondering what that particular sound audio thingamahoogie is, it's called the Spanish Flea, and it's courtesy of yours truly.
Woo.
Yes, and I'll play the. Here's the button with a longer version on it. 1 second. Wait.
No.
Here's the full version of it. I have both. I have the short and the long. And then as we proceed along, the next Character Chaos tournament will be coming and going, and it's always brought to you by the magnificent, glorious, and awesome Slorg, man, Mr. Pumpkin, and yours truly, Comet.
All you happy people.
And if you've got characters to submit, please visit theslorg.com. Visit the forums. Make a post there. There is a problem with the forums in which the password emails are not getting sent out. I know of the problem, and I cannot fix it. Therefore, if you would like to join the forum and submit characters, please do so. And send me an email at dougandvicky@gmail.com. That's DOUGANDVICKY@gmail.com. And I will set you up so that you can visit the forums.
V-A-Y-C-K.
V-I-C-K-Y. V-I-C-K-Y.
V-I-C-K-Y because we like you. M-O-U-S-C.
Who's Vicky? I'm not going to tell you.
I'm Vicky.
I'm Vicky, Daddy, can't you tell? I feel good.
Okay, whatever.
Alright, I got nothing. I'll see everybody later.
Yeah, it's all going to be
Peace,
later.
my brothers.
Yes, and as always, check out my YouTube channel at Lord Comet, L-O-R-D-C-O-M-E-T-T. I posted some new stuff. Hope you likes. Have a good night all, and God bless.